What is the best thing to start consuming when you feel like you're starting to come down with a cold? Now, this is exactly what I did the last 3 days that I started feeling like I was getting sick, and it was amazing. So, preface, I used to never get sick. I used to have a really good immune system. Then something happened in 2020 where I lost im- my natural immunity. I could not fight off colds, and it it was really bad. Like every year, I would start, you know, feeling like I was getting sick, and before it would my everything would fight it off, and I wouldn't go past like that initial stage of feeling a little like you're starting to feel it. And oh, it was really bad. So today's Sunday. Thursday, I woke up starting to feel it in the back of my throat. I had this weird kind of deep phlegmy cough, and then throughout the day, my head just started to. It didn't hurt, but like I always get this kind of heavy feeling in my head when I'm starting to get sick, and that was coming on. And then to make things worse, I had a massage scheduled after work on Thursday, and I was thinking this was going to be great, right? So I go to the massage and I'm on the table, and a couple minutes into the 60-minute massage, the lady started coughing, and at first I was like, oh, maybe she's just clearing her throat. No, it kept continuing throughout the whole massage, and I was like, oh, wow, this sounds like she's sick. And then at the very end, she apologized and said that she had been sick for the last couple of weeks. Um, no mask. I was in an enclosed room with her for an hour. So that got me paranoid that, oh man, okay, now it's like solidified. I'm definitely going to get sick, right? No. So basically, I went down a rabbit hole of what to do to kick this cold, and I came across a few different herbs and a couple different teas that really wiped this thing out really fast. So the first thing, since I was having like a cough and feeling like that need to cough. So the first thing I did was I grabbed this Echinacea plus elderberry organic tea. Now, before I go into this, I just want to say that I am not a doctor. I am not a certified herbalist. I love learning about natural remedies and how food can heal us and all of that good stuff. But with that being said, please do your own research. And if you have any medical conditions or are on any pharmaceutical drugs, please ask your doctor before trying certain herbal remedies. There are warnings here. So let me just read the warning for this specific tea. Basically, it says consult your healthcare professional prior to use if you have an autoimmune disease, other immune system disorder, or if you're taking immunosuppressants. Do not use if you're allergic to plants in the daisy family. Do not use if you're pregnant or breastfeeding unless directed otherwise by your healthcare professional. And this is not for kids under 12 years of age. Okay, so with that being said, this is the tea. This one was already in my pantry. It's the traditional medicinals brand. It is organic, and that's very important. And I'll go into that in a minute. Something else just that I just learned recently that was makes sense, but I didn't know how polyphenols were created. So I'll talk about that in a minute. So basically, with my research, I found that echinacea and elderberry are two very, very good um, herbs to, brew as a tea if you're starting to get a cold. And it was crazy. So this is not just echinacea and elderberry. There is also peppermint leaf, yarrow, chamomile, and ginger rhizome, um, along with the echinacea and elderflower. Yes. Okay. So you steep this for like 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So it's not really hot by the time you're drinking it, but that didn't really matter to me. I let it steep for, I think, 15 minutes, and then the second one, I think I forgot about it, and steeped. I steeped it. I don't know if that's correct. That one went for like 20 minutes before I drank it, and I always like squeeze the tea bag, get all the goodness out of those, um, out of the leaves before drinking it. But immediately, my cough just kind of went away. Like I did not feel any need to cough. I drank this tea at about, think it was maybe around 6 o'clock in the evening, which I do recommend if you're going to drink tea before you go to bed. Try to do it a few hours before you're going to bed because I did wake up about 3 times to go pee through the night. However, I didn't have any coffee and I didn't feel anything. And the next morning, my head felt fine. It was just um, like more of the phlegmy stuff. So echinacea elderberry tea was my first go-to. So drank that. Then the next thing that I found during my rabbit hole adventure on getting rid of a cold was brewing a tea of fresh organic ginger root. So what you would do if you've never done this before, you'd want to get I always get organic. I'm anti-pesticides in my foods, and there's a reason for getting organic, especially if you are going to consume something that has polyphenols. In the elderberry tea, what was in it? I think is it the elderberry itself? Yes, I believe the elderberry is known for having a polyphenol content. Now, polyphenols are like micronutrients that act as antioxidants. So they're good for many things. You can look those up if you want to. But the cool thing I found out about organic versus non-organic, not only are you hopefully not being exposed to pesticides, but polyphenols are created when the plant is putting up its natural defense mechanisms, essentially. So I may not say this in the most like I the most correct way. But basically, the concept is, let's say you have two plants. You got this one's growing organically. It doesn't have pesticides. This one is sprayed with pesticides. Now, the organic one is going to have to fight off invaders, right? Foreign invaders. You got bugs, whatever else. It needs to put up its defenses against these things, and that's where the polyphenols are created. Now, the plant that is sprayed with pesticides isn't going to have to put up those defenses because it's not encountering the same environmental attacks, essentially, that the organic one is. Therefore, it has been shown that organic herbs, plants, berries are very high in polyphenols. That's why elderberry as well. And that's why there's significantly a higher amount of polyphenols in organically grown berries, herbs, whatever contains polyphenols than non-organic. So it's another reason why you should buy organic, especially when it comes to medicinal stuff. If you're buying something, if you're buying berries, and berries are really good to buy organic. They're like one of the dirty dozen, I think it's called. But okay, anyway, back to this tea. So basically, you want to just like pick off part of the ginger, and you're going to I just use like a paring knife and just take the skin off. And then I just cut it up into tiny pieces, put it in a little pot. And I also grabbed a cinnamon stick. So basically, the next tea is a ginger root cinnamon tea. I also put some cracked pepper in there. Um, that was a suggestion. I'm not exactly sure the reason for the cracked pepper. You don't have to put cracked pepper in it, but that was another addition that they mentioned doing. So ginger root, peel it, slice it up. You can also use like a Parmesan grater if you want it to be like super fine and you want to like drink it and not, you know, chew it. You don't, I wasn't, actually consuming the pieces of ginger at the end. I was just drinking the tea. So I steeped that, and then I also put a cinnamon stick in there, but then I um, also added, because I don't have Ceylon. I think it's Ceylon. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but Ceylon cinnamon. I've never been able to find Ceylon cinnamon sticks at a grocery store. I kind of want to go on a hunt for them. They look different than normal cinnamon sticks. Now, why Ceylon as opposed to any normal other cinnamon? Um, the quick answer is cassia cinnamon, which is like you mostly when you go to the store and you buy a thing of cinnamon and it just says it's cinnamon, usually it's cassia cinnamon. And cassia cinnamon comes from the regions of China, Indonesia, and Vietnam. These are the most common cinnamons that you're going to find. These are the cinnamon sticks typically that you find in the grocery stores. They look different than Ceylon cinnamon sticks in that, and you can like Google a picture of it. But the cassia cinnamon sticks have kind of a thicker wall to them, and then the Cylon is they're thinner and it's like a whole bunch of them kind of ribboned up. So they look different. The color is also slightly different, but I always use the Cylon cinnamon powder. I also buy this organically or organic, grown organically, because cinnamon contains, okay, I don't know if correcting if I'm saying this correct either, but coumarin. Coumarin, it's spelled Coumarin. Now, coumarin in high doses is toxic to your liver. Therefore, and people who are consuming a lot of cinnamon for the health benefits, for certain, trying to remember if I believe, and please do your own research on this, it's known to help lower um, I want to say cholesterol, high blood pressure. It's good for your heart. Please do your own research on cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon comes from Sri Lanka, and the percent of coumarin in the cassia cinnamon, the common one that you find in the grocery store, it has 1% coumarin. Ceylon only has 0.004%. So if you're consuming cinnamon in large doses and you're doing it for like the health benefits, definitely spring for the Ceylon. It is a little more expensive, but it's definitely worth it, especially if you have liver issues. This is something that I don't think is very well known about cinnamon. You know, we know that cinnamon's good for us, but the coumarin isn't really, I haven't really seen a lot of information about this out there. So if you have liver issues or you're worried about your liver, you want to protect your liver and you want to consume a lot of cinnamon, definitely go for the Ceylon. Oh, that's backwards. So Ceylon. So Ceylon cinnamon. So then I just sprinkle some of that in once the water's boiling, and then I take it off the boil. I let that simmer, and then I just drink that throughout the day. So I also, the day after I started feeling like I was coming down with something, I made a giant pot of chicken soup. Um, so there were veggies in there. There were carrots, celery. I put cilantro in there, garlic. But then I also took maybe about 5 inches of turmeric root. So the turmeric root, grows kind of like the ginger root, and you can also buy that in the grocery store instead of the powder. Now, the powders have been known for being contaminated with something I cannot remember at the moment. Um, Definitely do some research there yourself, but I like just buying the turmeric root and just using it, cutting it up when I'm going to use it. So I put about 5 inches of chopped up turmeric root in the soup. And so I was like, as I was eating the soup, I'm like, chomping down on turmeric. Now, when I was making that soup, I had painted my nails. I had white gel nail polish on, and turmeric stains everything, just so you know. So beware if you don't want, you know, orangey yellow nails or fingers. You can use gloves when you're chopping it up. Your cutting board will also get a little hint of yellow there that sometimes is very, very, very hard to get out of. Um, so turmeric dyed my fingernails yellow. It was like highlighter yellow on my nails. So I just took it off. But so be careful with turmeric in that regards. But so basically, echinacea, elderberry tea, along with my ginger, Ceylon cinnamon tea, eating chicken soup because you want to feed a cold, starve a fever. So if you're coming down with a cold, you definitely want to get your protein in. That's why chicken soup is so good, especially if you got the bone broth along with the chicken in there. If you're making your own and you're using the bone-in chicken, um, that's great. You're getting a lot of protein in that. And then the last thing, and this is also another thing I buy organic, is thyme leaf tea. So thyme tea is great to get all that mucus out. So if you're having mucus issues, if you're sick, or if you're starting to come down with something, or if you just got, mucus that's stuck that's just really annoying, thyme tea is going to help dry all that out. It's amazing. Try it. So that's all. I just wanted to hop on and share because we are in winter right now. It's the beginning of February. It's still cold out there. People right now where I'm at are coming down with the flu. So, and that may have been what I was starting to catch because like my sister had the flu for this whole last week and she was like bedridden with a fever and everything. And then I started feeling something Thursday morning and it kind of continued into Friday. And then Saturday, it was just I wasn't bedridden though. Like I was still able to do stuff. I just wasn't feeling 100%. Um, Today's Sunday. I feel amazing. The only thing left is like I got some mucus back in here. So I already drank 1 cup of echinacea tea today, and I think I'm gonna go for the thyme tea now to just help get the rest of it gone. But I was so blown away at how quickly I got over this and that I didn't actually get sick because that has been my thing since 2020. I just can't kick a cold before it just takes me over. And now with these things, I feel like that's exactly so. This is my new protocol when I start feeling sick. So if you tried this, let me know down in the comments. Like, let's get a thing going. I'm curious, what other remedies do you guys use when you start feeling sick that really help you? Um, I also know that like if you're dealing with a lot of sinus like congestion, putting some eucalyptus leaves in a pot of water. You want to use like filtered water. You don't want to have that chlorine boiling and steaming into your nostrils. But so like, yeah, what is it? Eucalyptus leaves in some filtered water and just put that over the stove, get that boiling and steaming, and then just put a towel over your head and just breathe that in. Some people like to hang dried eucalyptus leaves in their shower. I haven't personally done that before because I share a shower with someone who's highly allergic to eucalyptus, so I don't want to do that to them. Um, but I bet that would be amazing. I love eucalyptus. So that's another thing if you're experiencing a lot of congestion and you just need some relief. But yeah, comment down below. What do you do? Have you tried these? If you do try these and they work, let me know how they work, how long it took. Very curious other remedies that people use. Um, yeah, if you like this and you want to keep hearing more about I'm a multi-passionate that loves learning about food and different herbs and how they interact with our bodies and herbs for medicine. That's something I just purchased a book. I'm so excited. I forgot the name of it, but there's something about like herbal lost remedies. It's basically a book of creating your own medicine cabinet from herbs. And I went through and I saw a few of the remedies, and I was just like, oh, I'm so excited to get that book. Um, so I love learning about this. I love learning about health benefits of herbs and foods and what foods to eat with other foods to like amplify the effects. That's another thing. If you're using turmeric, um, definitely put some cracked pepper in whatever it is that you're putting turmeric in because it actually allows more of the curcumin that's in the turmeric to be, I believe, bioavailable or be available for, then that's the anti-inflammatory property in turmeric is the curcumin. Curcumin, I believe, yes. So cracked pepper and turmeric together makes it more potent and more medicinal. So another little hint. But yeah, comment down below if you want to follow me, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be posting a lot more of these things that I like. I love sharing this. I love sharing this with a lot of people, and I have a few people that are interested in it, but I also have people who really could care less. So I'm just going to share it with you because if you're on this video and you're still watching right now, that means you're also interested. So I'm going to be sharing more of that along with more of my artistic creations, along with um, advice and things that I've learned as I was coming out of a lot of bad, abusive relationships and how I was able to regain my self confidence and get out of codependency and just build a loving relationship with myself, something I had never had even before the bad relationship. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of that stuff on this channel. So definitely subscribe if that's your cup of tea. And I'm going to go have myself some time tea. Have a great Sunday, guys.